Okay, so today we have Narpath Raman. Narpath बैंगलोर से है और आपने को इंस्टाग्राम पे देखा होगा. He has this magic teaching classes, online classes जहाँ पे वो कहते हैं how to become the most interesting guy in the room. Correct? That's what the title is.
Yes. Hi guys. Hi Mangesh.
Hi Narpath. Thank you
Thank you
for coming. So Narpath, हिंदी चलेगा आपको ना कि इंग्लिश ज़्यादा चाहिए आपको?
I will listen in Hindi.
Speak English. Okay. Okay. I think we have both.
If they listen to my Hindi, they'll forget their Hindi.
अच्छा, they'll forget it. Okay. So, firstly, कैसे आए आप magic में? How did you get into magic? Because I think you are quite new, just 10 years ago.
A decade. Finished a decade.
So, how did you come into magic? कैसे आए?
I went through a bad phase in life. I'm 33 right now. When I was 22, I went through a bad phase in life. I lost my sister. A series of events happened.
Oh.
So to come out of those events, I used magic as a hobby, so to distract myself. That hobby became passion, obsession, and today a profession.
So how?
Long story short.
So how did you learn it? Where did you get to learn what to do in magic or how to begin with magic? ये कहाँ से आया?
I'm self-taught, but my initial spark was Akash.
Akash Bhatt.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Akash Bhatt is again from Bangalore.
So I grew up as an introverted kid. I could not stand stage. I could not have eye contact. I could not finish a sentence.
I think that is a trait most of the magicians have.
I'm seeing a pattern.
So even for me, it was like I was an introvert. I could not speak to people, like directly going and talking to people for a long time until college, until I started doing magic.
True.
So you advertise yourself as the next door mentalist.
Yeah, next door mind. Yeah.
Next door mind reader.
Yeah.
Mind reader. What is it? What is next door mind reader? What does it mean?
Honestly, very honestly, when I started, I had to make decisions very quick. Once I understood, so what happened to Akash was he was more into magic, and I was learning more towards mentalism from the beginning of my, without even understanding what mentalism was. So I told Akash I like this over this. Are these two same?
Yeah.
Because when he was first time,
You know the difference.
You know no difference, and I thought Darren was real.
Right.
I thought from the first video I saw of Darren was he was sitting one to one with the person. He was making the other person feel drunk just by talking. That's my first introduction to Darren. First introduction to mentalism. And I thought this guy is God. I really thought Darren, in my opinion also, he's partly God.
So Darren Brown is from UK.
Darren
He's
Brown,
a mentalist hypnotist, quite famous in UK. You can check it out. Check him out.
His body of work should have had influence on every model mentalist. Some
Absolutely.
to an extent.
Absolutely. Yes.
So then I asked Akash, he's like, no, it's different. Then I told him I will follow this path on my own. He said, all the best. That's when I started. So initial spark was Akash. I trained under him for a month or something on magic.
Oh.
I quit my corporate job in 8 months.
So leaving a job, which is secure income, every month you get a paycheck, you know कि इतना पैसा आएगा, I know how my month is going. Leaving that and deciding to completely become a professional entertainer, mentalist, mind reader, it's not easy, you know, because the moment the payment stops, you're worried. अरे कल का bill कैसे भरेंगे? How do I pay the rent? How do I pay? So how did you survive, or how did you keep yourself going through the entire challenging situation? It must have been challenging, right? Initially.
Absolutely. Yeah. Initial 5 years. So I'm telling. I come from a very conventional Tamil family.
Right.
So I'm telling my mom. I'm showing them a few pieces. They're all clapping. They sit in the hall and everybody claps. Right. After all of that, I'm telling them this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
No, they were like no chance. Then I'm telling her. My mom is asking why would anybody pay money for this.
Right.
I said there's an industry called events. She's asking me what are events. So coming from a family who does not even know
what
there's
events
an
is.
industry called events,
Yes.
and people gather and imagine the kind of traditional family I come from.
Right.
So to convince them took me 5 years. When they got convinced this, I brought money to 3 people.
Oh.
So once I started bringing money, everybody was like, "Oh."
But it took you 5 years to actually
Took me
settle
5 years
into.
to even convince them happily. Because until that point, they were like, I don't know what my son does. He's still figuring out. Or they would always escape themselves from a social situation where they have to tell what their son is doing. When my name came on newspaper, when I performed for Dhoni, when money happened, all of a sudden everybody is.
So were your parents embarrassed that he does magic before he became famous?
I don't think embarrassed, but they didn't understand. I think dad comes from a regular government job, mom is a housewife. Nobody has even done business before, and their reference point, they had no reference point. At least had I told them I want to become, let's say, an actor or a comedian or even a dancer, singer, there's some reference point. You can point at somebody and say, okay, my son may become like him or. But what I brought home is something it was too much for them to understand and let me pursue.
So now are you like happy? Like are you content that good you came into magic? Although it took some time to get used to the income pattern or the working ways of being an entertainer. You are at a position today that you feel, oh good, I left everything and I'm doing this. Is
absolutely? I cannot be happier. I'm having a chat with you.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm sure you'll understand the same feeling, right?
Yeah.
Meeting people of all kinds. There is respect. There is money. There is, if you're single, there are women. I'm not.
Not single anymore.
Not single anymore. Right?
So
I've had my times though.
Yes.
But yeah, you get everything. You're seen from a very very new lens, and you can stand out from any crowd. Even if there was, very modestly, you'll probably associate with this. Even if Shah Rukh Khan sat here, we have something that he does not have.
Correct. Absolutely.
No matter who.
So magic is like a superpower, I believe. It's just like a superpower that you have when you are performing. And I have certain similar experiences
you are one of those
with celebrities. I felt the same. That initially I felt that this is a celebrity, but once you start performing, they go like, and you go, okay, now I am the superhero.
Absolutely.
Not you. So.
After 20 seconds,
yes.
we are the one.
So what have you studied? What did you study?
I finished. I can't claim I studied. I finished engineering.
So what did you graduate in again?
Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. And as of now, you use nothing of that in magic.
Zero,
right?
Zero.
So do you think you wasted all those years?
Absolutely. My parents wasted all the money. I wasted all the time.
So instead, if as a kid you had found out that you could become a magician and make a living, you would have actually gone that way and probably would have been far ahead than what you are today in the field of magic.
Could have is one.
Yeah.
But I think every timing it was meant to happen for me.
Correct.
Because my life changed as a person itself because of magic.
Right.
If those events did not happen in the same sequence, I would not have seen. Because mostly when I talk to other magicians, they say they have been interested in magic as a kid also.
Right.
I was zero interested until 22. I had no clue.
You did not even know what magic is or what magic is about.
Exactly. Yeah. No fascination for sure.
So how did this name come up?
When I think of it today, it was very, I don't know, it was just in the moment. I asked my friends, what do I name myself? Because Narpath was difficult, a little bit of a difficult name growing up, as I thought, which we just spoke about. Then I start looking at myself on the mirror, who am I? I am trying to read minds, I look extremely next door. And as a joke, I started calling myself an NDMR or next door mind, next door. Because I used to live in an apartment. Everybody in the apartment started calling me next door.
Oh.
So I had a habit of go to work, come back and perform to a lot of people in the apartment. So
go to work where? So you used to.
I was still working. I was still working for 8 months.
Oh.
As I was trying to learn what mentalism is first of all.
Oh.
So those days I made a lot of friends, a lot of people. They within that small community of 20-30 people, they were as a joke. Everybody as a nickname, they started calling me next door. Then I started thinking, why not? Maybe why not? It sounds.
Next door reminds me of next door. Next door, there's a movie.
There's a movie, right?
Yeah.
So why if there was a next door normal dude who could actually read minds, I look like that. It's in my imagination.
Oh, nice.
So I took it seriously.
Nice. So recently you, I don't think recently, maybe more than a year ago, I think you've been highlighted by Instagram for your training course, yes, which is again how to be the most interesting person in the room. Firstly, how has the response to it? How many people do you think really want to learn magic and all that? Secondly, don't you think if you start teaching magic, it's going to reduce your own value, or if you reveal so many secrets, people wouldn't really value your magic as such as much?
So what I'm teaching is what the Narpath kid wanted to become in the first couple of years.
Right. Oh,
So
so coming back to yourself,
I'm coming back to
like
myself.
if suppose you had access to something like this back then,
absolutely.
you probably might have been, probably might have started earlier than what you
Earlier, or I would have grown faster, or
faster.
whatever.
Correct. Oh, that's nice.
So I'm teaching anybody who wants to stand out from, because the competition we have. Let's say you're going to go to an interview, and if you did something in the interview that is going to make them remember you, or that is going to give you a small edge over somebody who is at the same skill level as yours.
Right.
So I'm giving people a small edge. I'm not. Nobody can make them a mentalist, and I cannot. I should not. I will never not. I will never. They
Right.
can't also.
Correct.
From what if you bought the course, people may hate me based on what I tell in the ad. Because in the ad I have to say, click here, come into my world, I will teach you mind reading.
Right.
In that I cannot say, click here, I'm going to teach you the basics of mind reading. No.
Yeah.
Because the ad has to be so quick.
Correct.
So people mostly hate me or judge me based on the ad.
Correct.
But if you bought the course, I'm giving something very, very different, where I'm not scamming people.
Right.
I'm giving the message of how to be different. The tool to be different, my tool to be different that you can learn from me is these 6 small pieces.
Correct.
I'll give a very spiritual answer to this. I think I cannot really control if you like me or not. Regardless, as you just told, regardless of whether I teach or not.
Right.
But again, what I'm teaching is not going to take anybody's job at all. It is going to make people. And how many times? Okay, right now the population of magic and mentalism are increasing massively.
Yeah.
But still-
Exponentially, I would say.
Exponentially. But
Yeah.
still today you have a show, right?
Correct.
Still today when you perform, 95% would not have seen magic live.
Correct.
In their eyes, Mangesh is the first mentalist or magician they get to see,
Yeah.
and you are the one who's they're going to remember.
That is true.
If I did a good job on my day, they're the one in their reference.
Yeah.
Narpath is the first one they met.
Yes, yeah.
In today's reference, you are the first one they met.
Yes.
So as long as there is a handful, good amount of us who are doing a good job, I cannot take anything from you.
Correct.
I'm of the opinion I cannot take anything away from
Not just these people. I think even I've met a lot of celebrities who haven't seen magic or good magic, I would say. And every time, so I get very surprised when these celebrities who have roamed around the world,
Across
they
the globe.
yeah,
Same,
they're like,
same.
oh wow! I'm like, you've been to Vegas. How did you not see something as good or better than this?
I get the same feeling too.
Yeah. So I agree with you that most of the people haven't seen magic,
No.
and that also is, I think, one of the reasons why the market of magic is not as big as it should be, because people don't know how interesting, how entertaining it is.
Biggest social art ever. There is no social art in the world
Yeah.
that lets the performer comes, shake hand with you, see eye to eye with you, ask your name. No singer, no comedy can do.
Correct.
There is no bigger human social art form.
The comedians do that for the first row where they want to pull the legs.
they do that.
Yeah.
But again, it's very one way.
Yeah.
Magic is so two way.
If you go and search for a particular magician or his effect, or even if you put America's Got Talent magician, the first video would be the magician, the second would be revealed.
How we reveal.
How revealed. Now that doesn't only reveal the secret of what the magician is doing, but at the same time it also kills the entire entertainment and the wow factor of the original
Especially
effect.
for the nature of what we do.
Exactly.
The nature of what we do is pure secret. How
And it's only getting easier to find the secrets. What do you think will this have in future? You know, what would this do in future to our work? Because as of now, see, like in our phone we have Siri or Alexa or Google. What is that? Google? I don't know. Google, whatever.
Yeah.
So you can ask your phone today, like, tell me how do I reach here? It'll show you the map. Tell me where can I buy this? It'll probably open some online store and show you. Similarly, I'm sure that in some point in the future, the technology will catch up where you will say, okay, how did the magician vanish this? And the phone will give you an answer, and a correct answer, probably with the video, like, oh, this is how it's done, or how to do. What do you think will happen to magic then? Do you think magic will still survive with all of that?
I think 100%.
It would.
100% we will
You're
survive.
very optimistic about it.
I am 1000%. Because since I understand a little bit of marketing and teaching and everything, if you are putting in so much effort to understand how the trick worked, you will either end up becoming a semi-pro or an amateur, or you're a general enthusiast. But the chance of me meeting you at a gig or the chance of you hiring me is so small. I think the largest spectrum is still, no matter how much exposure happens, the largest spectrum is 99% of people who do not know, who will end up not knowing. I've met so many people who, how many people have died without seeing magic?
Oh, lots, I'm sure lots.
Majority of the world.
Yeah.
And wherever you go, you are the first, mostly you're the first one they see. They would have probably seen, let's say they mentioned a few names from the internet or like Suhan or Karan.
Yeah.
But still, people watching live, if the performer did a good job without any flaws, I'm 1000% sure Mangesh is the first guy they'll remember throughout life.
Correct.
So that number is much larger than the exposure is what I want to believe. I do not know if it's gonna destroy magic or not, but I want to see the other side.
I think you also made one more good point, right? That if somebody goes to the trouble of finding out how it is done,
They're genuinely interested.
most of the time they'll get interested in
Those guys are you and me years back.
Yes. So for example, now I have the power of exactly knowing what happened in the news or something, or what happened in what country or news, but I don't keep doing that because I'm not interested. Probably if I get interested in politics or something, I would start listening to those news.
So if that guy deserved to go put himself through that, 10 years later, if that guy had become a professional, he's you and me.
Correct.
He has no competition.
Right.
He's a part of us.
Right.
He deserves.
Right.
But there's very small intersection of people, 2%, 1%, who are keen on knowing how these things work. I think for the larger spectrum, I don't think they're anyway a threat or anything.
So at the same time, I feel in the world of magic, magicians especially are quite insecure as professionals, right? Because we always believe there's not enough number of shows, or there's not enough number of clients to.
Or I'm your competition. You are my competition.
Yes. What is your take? What is your feeling on that? What is your experience on that?
I think it's total bullshit.
It is.
It's absolute bullshit. I come from the opinion no matter on your day today, I cannot take a show at all. I live 5 minutes from this place.
Correct.
If this show had to come to me by mathematics or by proximity, I should have gotten this show.
Correct.
If I did come to a show in Bombay 5 minutes away from your place, that is
which you have. Which you have. Yes, I know.
Which all of us have.
Yeah.
Mangesh's show is Mangesh as long as Mangesh is good. Narpath show is Narpath as long as I'm good. The day you and I starts faltering, somebody else will come take it.
No, I agree with that. What I'm saying is, do you think magicians have this tendency of being insecure?
Very much. That is what is not bringing all of us together.
Correct.
Because everybody is looking at if I'm a, how do I say, if I'm somebody who does not want to grow, I'm the guy who's coming and watching your today's show to know the secrets to steal the presentation that you have.
Right.
But if we had a proper community where, like comedians have, I cannot steal a joke from you. If I stole, I'm hated by the whole community.
Right.
If I'm hated by the community can screw and I cannot have a career. So no way I'm going to take a joke. No way I'm going to take a move.
Correct.
No way I'm going to copy you. But here we have no structure, right?
Yeah.
Today I can come easily copy you.
But isn't it also because magicians essentially, I mean, all of us, the ones performing, are performers. We're not really creators.
Correct.
Creator is somebody else, sitting somewhere obscurely, or who have already died, have created these effects like hundreds of years ago.
Correct.
And we're doing it today. So we are essentially not creating any original content when it comes to magic, or not really creating any magic per se. Instead, we're just performing what's already available in the open market or in the market of magic. Isn't that one of the reasons why like comedians have to write their own jokes?
Correct.
Right? Magicians don't have to make their own magic. I mean, most of them don't, right?
Yeah.
We always stick to the argument that the presentation has to be different. Of course, but how different? See, vanishing a car, however different the presentation is, it's essentially vanishing a car. Nobody's going to remember it as anything else. I vanish a car putting a cloth or water or fire or I don't know, anything. It's essentially vanishing a car. For the layman, for the audience, it is just that same thing. So for magic, isn't it very difficult to actually differentiate, because we again have some basics, right? Vanish, produce, transform, all those things. Nothing out of it. So wouldn't it be difficult to actually not copy someone or not be same to what somebody else is doing?
I think it is extremely difficult.
Yeah,
But if one decided to take the difficult path, that is when they become a Darren or David.
correct. So it is difficult, but it's not
Extremely.
impossible.
It's not impossible.
At the same time, this is to all the big professionals who actually are making a lot of money, or new professionals who are making a lot of money. That if you're making so much money and all that, you have to try to be original. Like, try
If
to,
you're not, I'm telling your kid will come take your job.
yes, that's true. That's already happening.
It's already
To a
happening.
lot of magicians, it's like
It happened to all of us. Because with exposure, I think I can use technical terms.
Yeah,
You or and reveal it. There are so many how to. I will reveal a crush videos
Yeah.
being done by currently, if you check,
right.
being done by hundreds of new kids whose names you and I won't even know.
Correct.
But their videos are 8 million, 5 million views, right? And the new audiences are watching them. So for them, that is the reference.
Finally, what advice would you give a newcomer or a new Narpath in the making who probably is very young, who's probably either young or who's already doing a job but thinking of leaving and becoming a magician, or a college going boy who thinks he's not confident enough and wants to become better other than following your course? What else would you advise?
Stop. I mean, you can be inspired, because I remember when I started, I was very inspired by David and Darren. I used to talk like them. I used to have beard like David. I used to
Did you do this? What the Darren does?
No.
not that.
I did more. I dressed up like David. I spoke little like Darren. So don't do the mistake. If you see a Narpath or a Mangesh or Karan or Suhan, anybody you see today, don't copy them. You could be inspired by anybody, but never ever become that. That is a blunder. So mostly, if you just stay true to who you are, you will find your own audience. Regardless of that audience, will keep paying you money all your life. You will grow with them. You will die with them. So forget comparing yourself to anybody. Do not copy. Just be yourself. You will do great.
Additional question to that: should one should one go to become a professional magician if they don't require to be a professional magician, or is it better to be a hobby magician so that you can do what you want to do in magic instead of doing it for money or for the client?
So data says 95% of people who understand magic are not professionals. There is just 5% of us.
Correct.
Right.
Less than 5. I would
Less than
say
5.
must be less than 1% actually. 99%.
Let's call it 1%.
Yeah.
We are one because we have taken this as a life pursuit.
Correct.
Learning a secret is very easy, guys. Very, very easy. Living that life, going through the ups and downs, is as difficult as living any life that involves art or business. It's insanely difficult.
Correct.
So if you decided to do it, and if you did it well, you deserve it. So I really doubt what is the best thing.
So the question is, should they go for being a professional, or should they just keep it as a hobby if they don't really need to make a profession out of it?
If they decided to take this as a full-time profession, be ready for a wave. Be ready for a
Like this.
yeah, every day is absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, yesterday you would have killed at a show. You would have been appreciated by everybody. Tomorrow you still have to go introduce yourself to somebody else totally new.
Yeah. That's
You and I,
Yeah.
yesterday would have had a standing ovation. Everybody's hugging and
Yeah.
taking photos with you. Tomorrow they're again asking, why should I pay you so much?
Yeah.
Show me a trick.
Yeah.
Can you perform here? You're
Yeah.
still a magic monkey.
Yeah.
So that ups and
Magic monkey. That's a good
yeah,
one.
that's
Okay.
that up. Do not. Your ego will be at a different level last night. Tomorrow you have to come down. So if you are okay to live that life, which is a great life, I'm not even kidding, phenomenal life.
Right.
You deserve it. You become part of 1%. Or if you think that life is too much, stay, enjoy, partly live that life, enjoy that life, also enjoy your regular life.
Wow. Thank you, Raman. Narpath Raman, sorry.
I get this every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Nagesh.
I was thinking of Narpath Raman, it came as Narman.
No, I get it all the time.
Sorry. So Narpath,
No.
thank you again
Thank
for
you.
sharing. Honestly, so many
Yeah.
insights about magic and how you became the Instagram teacher of magic, and hope that you grow more in your pursuit of magic and originality, as you say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Means a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay.
So before you go, would you please show us your amazing
Yes,
powers?
yes. So this is what this has been my opener for a very very long time, even still today.
Right.
And if I I'll show this to you, and then I'll probably explain how I use this.
Yeah.
This is not a normal deck. This is the deck full of alphabets.
Oh, okay.
Right. There is, I think, I'm
It's
sure.
alpha deck.
Alpha deck. I think
Okay.
almost all of them should be here.
Yeah.
I had just have one message to Mangesh and to everybody watching. If you understand what you don't want in life, you can absolutely figure out what you want.
Oh, nice.
But if you're clear what you don't want, what is rest is what you want. I'll prove this to you.
That's a good message. Yes.
Yeah. So Mangesh, you are the eyes of the entire everybody watching.
Yeah.
Genuine proper shuffle. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
Show me right hand like this.
Like this.
So we're going to eliminate a few cards until very few cards remain.
Okay.
So let's say take a bunch of cards from the middle. When I say bunch, 5 to 8 is a good bunch. In one go.
Okay.
Yeah. Drop them.
Problem.
So there is no way anybody could have controlled that.
No.
Let's put them face down.
Okay.
Right. Again, I want you to make sure that this is a genuine, proper shuffle under your nose.
Yeah.
Let's say this time, so we are eliminating a few cards until
Right.
final few cards remain. Let's say this time take a bunch from the top area. Doesn't have to be top cards, top area, randomly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Take more. Drop them face up. Yeah, beautiful. Take. Yeah.
Hope so.
So no, there's no way neither you nor me could have controlled anything. Let's say take from the bottom area. Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay.
Final cards, let's do this a little differently. Show me both of your hands flat. I'm gonna place here.
Yeah.
Without thinking much, don't think much. You can either give me this pile or this pile. Don't think much. Are you sure?
Yeah.
If you're sure, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sure.
This means nothing.
Yeah.
You're sure with that.
Yeah.
Remember I told you, once you understand what you don't want in life, you will figure out what you want. Show me hand. How do you spell your name?
Mangesh. Mangesh. Wow.
So at the end of the day, when if you're trying to figure out what you want, it is yourself, Mangesh.
This is